Welcome to the Delvin Cox Experience, the podcast in which each week I'm on a one-man mission to unite our culture through diversity. I'm your host, Delvin Cox, and with me this week on the podcast is a special guest. From the Gag On this podcast, I have the beautiful, the talented Danni D on the show. How you doing, Danni?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Yeah, you can't
As
just
always.
have Nick. You can't just have Nick on.
Nah, that's not a good idea. As always, we like to start the podcast off with the 5 for 5. 5 questions, 5 answers to get the ball rolling. Danni, are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. Question number 1. You can help solve this debate, or you can make it worse.
Okay.
Soda or pop?
Soda.
Thank God.
Yeah.
You are a normal human being.
Soda.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Question number 2.
Okay.
Give me your top 5 favorite comedians.
Patrice O'Neal, Louis
Everybody picks
C.K., Bill Burr, Jessica Kirson. I'll go with a local one, Saul Trujillo.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Everybody I ask always picks Patrice O'Neal.
Saint Patrice.
I like it. I like the people. He gets a lot of credit now.
Yeah, he didn't when he was alive.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He gets more credit now that he's passed than he did when he was alive. And I think that's dope. People recognize his talent. He was super talented.
He was. I mean, when he was alive, he wasn't appreciated, but he's appreciated now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Question number 3, Danni.
Okay.
Don't get us arrested. I don't want to go to jail.
Okay.
What is the dumbest thing you've ever done as a kid?
As a kid?
Yeah, when I say kid, I usually go college and under.
Probably hitchhiked.
Hold on, where did you hitchhike to and who did you hitchhike with?
I was like 12. I was by myself.
Oh, you was 12?
Yeah.
Oh, this doesn't sound good at all.
And I hitchhiked to a concert.
With some stranger? You just like hopped and you like, hey, you stuck your hand out?
A truck driver picked me up.
Oh, this sounds like some Chris Hansen type shit.
No, and he dropped me off and he was like, I hope your parents, don't
find
out. Yeah, find out you went to this concert. Have a good time. But that's probably the dumbest thing I've ever done.
He was like, just okay with it. He just sees this 12-year-old. He's like, this seems legit.
It was the 90s.
God damn, that's wild. There's no way in hell I'm picking up a 12-year-old child in my car and taking them any fucking where. I really want to take my goddamn kid somewhere. No, let's take a 12-year-old kid I don't know. Nah. That's straight Chris Hansen.
I looked older though when I was 12. I had tits and stuff, so maybe he thought I was older. But then when I was stuck in his car, he was like, fuck it, let me just get this girl here.
Yeah. No, nothing about that scenario sounds like a good idea.
Right.
What if you get pulled over? Like, there's so many things that could have went wrong. Like, I'm just riding with this stranger to this party. Like, what? You want to go to this concert?
Yeah, in Sacramento.
Yeah. Sir, is this your child? No, I'm just picking her up. Like,
this kid was hitchhiking and I just picked her up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who made the worst decision there, whether it's you or him.
Hey, either way, I got to the concert.
Now I have to ask, what concert was it?
It was Bush and No Doubt and The Offspring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was the concert at least good?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you get
grounded.
Caught?
Oh, yeah. I was grounded for a long time after the concert.
Did you tell them you hitchhiked?
No.
So how did they think you got there?
They kept asking me and I just didn't tell them. I told them my friends gave me a ride. They were like, you're 12. You don't have any friends to drive. But I hitchhiked home too because I didn't have a ride.
Oh, you hitchhiked home?
Yeah. I just figured I'd get to the concert and meet some cool people and they'd give me a ride. And it worked out to where there were some younger people at the concert and one of their moms dropped me off at home. We went to the same middle school. So
that is wild.
I was in a lot of trouble though.
I can imagine. I would be furious.
Yeah, I was in a lot of trouble.
I'd be furious if my son, who's 16, was like, hey, I just hitchhiked to Kendrick Lamar concert. Oh, you lost your goddamn mind?
Yeah, pretty much. I wasn't a smart kid.
Hey, you got there safe. You got back safe.
That's right.
And you didn't have to.
I'd kill my kids though.
Yeah, you didn't have to put out nothing to get put on a wanted poster, a milk carton, or anything like that. So
no, I've been trying my whole life. No one's ever kidnapped me. So
yeah, so I think you did pretty good. You did pretty good.
Yeah, I did all right.
Strangely enough, that guy, he's probably somewhere in prison after a meeting with Chris Hansen.
Hey, whatever. Whatever.
Question number 4.
Okay.
What is your favorite guilty pleasure food?
Sushi.
I like sushi too.
Yeah. I'm like addicted to the one by my house. Like I'll go there by myself and just eat in like silence.
Is there a particular roll you like? Is it like the California roll? Is it the sashimi?
I like this. It's an Aerojet roll, and it's wrapped in cucumber, and it's like tuna and eel.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's really good. It has avocado in it. It's pretty good.
Sushi's really good.
I live like a block away from it, so I'm trying not to think about it. I can't afford it.
I could not I couldn't live that close to a place that served like good sushi.
Oh yeah, it's really
I would go bankrupt. I would probably eat there every day. Like I live by a public supermarket and they have sushi. And I'm like,
yeah, can't go. I'll sometimes leave the kids here. They'll be like, I'm hungry. They don't need sushi. So I'm just like, oh, I got to go run an errand. And that's what I said the other day. I was like, I got to go run an errand. And I went and got sushi by myself. My daughter was like, where'd you go? And I was like, don't worry about it. I was doing adult stuff. I was doing adult stuff. Don't you worry.
Oh, man, I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 5.
Okay.
Zombie apocalypse happens, Walking Dead style.
Okay.
You can only take 5 things to go out with you into the world to survive. Anything you want to. What are the 5 things you're taking to survive in the world? Anything you want to. You can, as long as it's a real thing. Like, don't like, I'm going to take a fucking dragon. I'm
going to take a fucking dragon and a shield. Now, I don't know, maybe like an AR-15. Those seem to work well.
Yeah. If you have some kids, apparently they do the job for those too. Zombie kids.
Right. Got it. And then maybe like a machete.
Machete's a good thing to carry.
I'd really like a change of clothes, and water, I guess. I don't know if zombies drink water or not.
That's what you're worried about? The zombies are thirsty?
I'm not a zombie.
No, you're not a zombie. You're human still. You're trying to survive.
Yeah, water, a machete, an AR-15, my cell phone.
Okay.
And some running shoes.
Okay.
I don't know. I would probably sacrifice myself though, so that
why?
So my friends could just go on. I know I'm not going to be able to outrun them forever, so why even keep trying?
Fuck them friends. No. Y'all better come with me and fall behind with me. Or,
no, I'm fine. Just turn me into a zombie. It's cool.
Nah, I'm not going that route. Y'all better follow my lead, or Or what happens happens. I ain't gonna let you die, but I'm not gonna exactly stop them either.
Like if there's a shark attack, and like it's outrun the shark or die, I'm probably just gonna get bit by a shark and die, because I'm not gonna outswim a shark. Same with the zombies. I'm not gonna outrun a zombie.
They're generally speaking slow, unless they're the World War Z zombies, then we're fucked.
I'm pretty slow, Delvin.
I think you can outrun a zombie. I'm gonna give you a little credit. I think if your life's on the line, you can outrun a zombie.
Maybe.
I think you got it. I'm gonna give you credit here.
All right. Okay.
I'm trying to keep you alive.
Yeah,
at least in the beginning days of the zombie apocalypse. Now, if we get down to day 30 and you like, I can't run any longer. Like, look, Danny.
It was nice hanging out with you. I gotta go.
You cool?
That's fine. That's fine. I understand that completely.
I like it. So, Tell everybody a little bit about yourself for those who don't know. I know you're on the Gag On this podcast. You're a comedian. You do a lot of things.
I'm an Aries. I like long walks on the beach. No,
I'm also Aries. So
are you?
Yeah.
April what?
April 2nd.
Oh, I'm April 1st.
Oh, okay. I was almost April 1st.
Yeah, my mom wanted to hold out until that special day. No, I'm a comedian. I travel a lot. I've been doing comedy almost 5 years now, and I'm addicted to it. So I do it every night, and I travel. Like I just got back from Tennessee, Texas, Virginia. I love to leave my family and go do it, make people laugh, have a good time. I do the Gag on this podcast. I do another podcast called There's Some S'mores in This House.
I like the name.
We do it in lingerie, and we just kind of talk shit.
Oh, y'all doing it in lingerie?
Yeah.
Where can I watch this podcast at? Hold on. Why haven't I heard of this? Whoa.
I'll send you a link.
Oh, I need that link.
it's just a cool podcast. We just talk shit about our weekend because we're normally out and about doing shitty shit. So that's about it.
So what got you into comedy? That's a cliche question. They always ask, what got you into comedy? Like
a lot of tragedy. No, one of my best friends was doing it. One of my friends started doing it, and I went to a couple of his shows, and I was like, oh man, I'm way funnier than you. So
and you're probably right.
Yeah. And so I just like dove deep into it and fell in love with it. That's actually how I met Nick and Rob. They were doing comedy too, but then they quit.
Yeah.
You really gotta like rejection.
Yeah, that seems like a common thing with comedy. You gotta take the booze.
Oh yeah.
Not everybody can do that.
Some people can't handle it.
So how did you adapt to that? Or was it one of those things like I just caught on really quick?
No, I like it. I like uncomfortable, awkward silences sometimes. For the most part, I'm pretty funny at this point, but when I'm not funny and I'm not making people laugh, I'll just sit there in silence and I'll just be like, fuck you guys. Like that was funny. As long as I'm having a good time, they're mostly having a good time. You know, that's
I like that idea. I like that concept. Yeah. Have
a good time. That's what they're out for. They're out there to watch comedy and have a good time. So why not go up there and have a good time?
I agree. So what is it like just because I don't know nothing about comedy? I'm not a funny man at all. I have never told a joke in my life, but I have been on stage before. So what is it like being on stage as a comedian and kind of taking over that crowd and getting them? Because I think it's very hard. Like I was on stage as a musician. I was a rapper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I rap.
Oh, yeah.
So it's quite different doing that than it is doing comedy. So what is it like kind of like controlling the crowd with comedy and stuff like that?
I really like hecklers. Like, you know, I do a lot of crowd work, so I'll involve the crowd. But sometimes when the crowd gets a little crazy, you know, you got to like settle and bring them back in. And sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. If it's like a drunk bachelorette party, there's no saving that. God save the queen. So it's over. But
I can imagine
part,
I
just like to pick on them.
I can imagine you've gotten at least once or twice show your tits. That seems like a common thing they're gonna give a female comic.
Or how many guys that will be like after my set will come up to me and be like, "Oh, hey, like you're pretty funny for a female." Thanks, bro.
That's a wild thing to tell somebody.
Yeah, you're pretty funny for a female, and yeah.
How do you respond to some shit like that?
I'm like, I appreciate that. I work real hard at it. Like, or people that will be like, "Oh, I've got something for you to put in your little skits," and I'm just like, I do not need your help, but okay. I mean, for the most part, I just try to be nice. I'm normally kind of drunk at these venues, so I'm pretty nice.
Smart move.
Yeah,
but it does seem like a weird thing to tell people. Like, oh, you're pretty funny for like funny is funny to me.
Right. That's what I think. But a lot of even the females will be like, "Oh my God, you're so funny for a female." Like, and it's like, okay, cool. Yeah. Appreciate that. I don't know what to say to that.
That's a really backhanded compliment. That's like, hey, you're pretty cool for a black guy. Fuck does that mean?
I mean, I say that all the time, and now I guess I know how it feels, you know? That's the great comparison. Yeah, you're pretty funny for a black guy.
Yeah.
No one ever says that shit.
Yeah, they don't.
No one. No one.
Yeah. But I appreciate the struggle that it is for a female comic, kind of, because it seems like it's a hard, like you're doing that shit on hard mode.
Yeah. Well, and I talk about some pretty raunchy stuff on stage. So like I'll get off stage and guys will be like, I've had so many guys just come up and like grab my tits, or women like motorboat me. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And they're just like, oh, like I want to play with them. And I'm like, you don't just grab someone.
That's how you gotta explain this. How the fuck did you get from like you're telling a joke and motherfuckers walking on stage grabbing titties?
No, not on stage. Like as soon as I get
after
off
the show?
Oh yeah, like after the show.
So they just walk up to you and just grab a titty?
Yeah. Just grab a titty or like be like, oh my God, they're really heavy. And I'm just like,
So when did Harvey Weinstein just start hanging out at comedy clubs?
Like, right? I wish they had Harvey Weinstein money. Then that'd be different. I would keep my mouth shut. But these guys aren't even offering to buy me a drink. So I don't know what the fuck's wrong with them.
That is so fucking weird.
Right?
I don't have. I guess I'm a pussy. I don't have the galls to just walk up to a woman and just grab a titty or stick my head between her breasts. Like that's some wild shit to do.
Maybe they just feel like they really know me after my sets, and they're just like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna get it." Ugh.
That's so fucking weird.
It's happened a time or two though. Probably like a good 5 or 6 times.
5 or 6 times?
Yeah.
So how do you even deal with some shit like that? Do you say, "Hey, sir, can you get your head out my breast"?
Normally, I just flick them off. Like I'll just start flicking them, and I'm just like, "Get the fuck out!" Like, what are you doing? And then, yeah, that's about it. Like,
do you think Steve Harvey ever had to deal with that?
No. I don't think girls were just hopping on their knees like, "Let me suck that dick. Let me suck it. Come on, give it to me." Like, I don't know.
It's so fucking weird. I always respect female comics because it just seems like they have to go through a different type of shit than guys do. People say shit like, "Oh, you didn't expect you to be funny."
Right.
So you gotta deal with that shit. Then if you're even remotely attractive, they're gonna start doing shit like they're doing to you.
And those are just the people watching. That's not even the comics, the 95% male comics that you're rolling in circles with that are like, you know, at least by now though, like I'm one of the boys, so they don't hit on me. They know it's not going anywhere with these guys. But you know, when I go to new comedy scenes, it's like, oh, fresh meat. And it's like, cool. I'm just one of the degenerates, just like you guys. Like,
yeah, so I think it's probably one of those things you probably have to prove yourself to these comics. Like, hey, I know how to fucking go.
I can actually tell jokes without having to sleep with you to get a show.
Yeah, that has to be a thing.
Oh yeah.
So what got you in the podcast? What made you say I want to do podcasts as well? Like, especially this lingerie one.
I really like attention. So
that'll do it.
Yeah. No, I started the Gag on this podcast with Nick. So like Nick already had it up and running, and my friend was a guest on it. And I was like, I went to it and I was like, "Oh, you guys need a female." And they were like, no. And I was like, "No, you do. Like your podcast sucks." And so I just started showing up every week. And then I was like, "You're just gonna put me on the podcast." And Nick likes to be told what to do. So
that makes sense.
That's what we did.
I will say this. I always appreciate when podcasts have a different perspective on it. Like I do a podcast. One of the podcasts I do is the PlayStation Experience. It is me and my friend Haley, who's transgender.
Okay.
And I always appreciate doing that podcast with her because we are from 2 completely different backgrounds.
Right.
Shit I don't know about. Shit she don't know about. So even though we come together to talk about video games, but she can bring a whole different perspective on some shit I would never understand or even grasp. Like there's certain things she brings up that happens in video games. She's like, "That's offensive." I'm like, "Why is that offensive?" And then she explains to me like, "Oh," I'm like, "Oh, I get it." Because she's also autistic.
Oh, okay.
So she kind of like breaks down stuff that I would never think that would be offensive to people. Yeah, and why it's wrong.
I have a hard time with offensive. Like I'm like, "Oh, is it?" Like my
well, yeah. I have a little bit of that too, because it's like, you know, being a black man. Old. We're old. Then, you know, growing up in the hood, you kind of hear people let shit fly all the time. Like,
100%.
One of my favorite rappers is DMX. You ever heard a DMX song?
Yeah.
You know, how that shit
Yeah.
goes. So
Yeah.
when you hear people like, oh, that's offensive, like, it is? Like,
I feel it.
have you
It is the
heard
same
any
way.
of DMX's songs?
Right? Yeah. I don't really like walk like my daughter says I'm offensive all the time. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I think we're just cut from that different cloth. Like you grew up around.
It's the 80s and 90s, man.
Yeah, you grew up around the 80s and 90s
rough.
stuff, and we kind of rock with it. Yeah.
You know, we hitchhiked and rapped and did all kinds of shit.
Yeah, hitchhiked with weirdos.
Hey, he wasn't even a weirdo. He didn't even try anything.
Yeah, get on him for not trying anything. Also weird. He's a brave motherfucker. Like,
right?
I will never get over that.
I know.
Like, I just the visual of like this 12-year-old kid. Can you give me a ride? Like, no, where are the fucking police? Like, take your ass home.
But if you were a white guy and you saw me hitchhiking, you might be like, "I'll pick you up. I'll pick you up," because then you don't have to worry about it.
Me
you
being
don't
a
have
black
to worry
guy.
about getting pulled over.
Me being a black guy, ain't no way in hell.
You're hypersensitive to it. You're hyper aware of it.
Ain't no way in hell I'm picking up a little white girl, taking her anywhere. That shit is not happening. No, not at all. No way.
Sounds like a situation.
That sounds like a big problem.
Right? 100%.
So you forced your way on the Gag on this podcast. I love the fact that you did that. That's dope. I think that shows you're very confident in your ability. So I think it's, for the most part, it's working out for you guys. I think it's a great podcast. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
And I think you're missed when you're not on the show.
I think so too.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I like when podcasts have that different perspective.
Yeah, because Rob and Nick are kind of boring. So.
That's one way to put it. I think, just a lot of times when you have these podcasts with men, and they're all whether they're all white men or all black men.
Yeah.
You get one perspective and one point of view. And me doing this podcast, I love doing this because I like to get different perspectives, different takes from people.
You can have anyone you want on.
Yeah.
You know?
Anybody I want, they can say anything they want to, and I can learn from them.
Right.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I like having you on, because you're talking about the whole comedy scene and what you have to go through as a comedian. I think that's dope.
I love comedy, man. I think comedy saved my life in a little bit. I used to gamble a lot, so when I ran out of money, I was like, I'm gonna start doing comedy instead, full time.
Oh, we got to talk about that. What was it? Were you like just like one of those like penny slot machines and shit like that? You was like fucking blackjacking it up.
I was playing like Texas Hold'em, fucking blackjack.
Oh,
yeah, 3-card stud.
What was that like?
I'm
not a gambler.
I lost a lot of money, maybe like 100,000.
Who? How the fuck you lost 100,000
in like 2 years? I gambled a lot. That's how you do it.
So and you just went to like casinos?
Gambling. Yeah, we have casinos all around here.
So that was your thing. You just like every week went to casinos and shit.
That was my thing.
Yeah. I am the type of dude who would like gamble like $5 and lose it. Like, fuck this. I'm never gambling again. Bad as fuck the whole day. Can I use that $5 on some burgers?
I'm a phone sex operator, so like I don't go to work. Like I just work from my phone. You
keep pulling up all these different layers of shit that I can talk about, and I'm loving it. So I didn't know phone sex operators still existed.
Yep.
2, how did you decide to become a phone sex operator? What made you say I'll be good at this?
Well, I got tired of like working, so
I
just thought I would like put my customer service skills, and I'm pretty raunchy all the time, and I'm non-judgmental. So I just Googled like phone sex operators, and I found a site, and so I created a profile and a site, and then I still worked like a regular job, while I was getting started. And then once I had like a couple of, regular customers who like to pay some of my bills, I was like, all right, I'm not going to work anymore.
So how does that, now, I'm not asking you to like actually do it, but how does that actually work? Like, do people still like call on the fucking phone, or is this something
yeah. So like people will go to a website, which I'll send you the link. You can go to the website, and then if I'm logged in, you'll call like I think it's a 900 number, an 800 number, whatever, and say you prepay for like 10 minutes, and then you get connected to me, and then we talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about, and it's pretty anonymous. I mean, on your end.
I am floored by this. I didn't know this was still a thing.
Oh yeah.
And apparently it must be successful. It's a successful business. It's like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. It's all right. It's good money.
I would have thought that
COVID really brought it back.
Yeah. Even with that, I would have thought that, like, you know, what is it, the cam soda and all these things would have kind of got rid of the phone sex operators, but I guess I was wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, guys like to have that personal, they love that GFE, you know, like, oh, how was your day, honey? So a lot of guys are lonely, and they have, you know, they don't have anyone to talk to, or like they don't know how to talk to women. A lot of young guys that call don't know how to talk to women, or, you know, a lot of guys call and say the most inappropriate things, and typically I'll talk to them about it. Like, let's go.
Wow. I can tell you right now, my shit would be boring as fuck. I'll be like, did you watch Obi-Wan?
Oh my God.
Let's talk spoilers.
No.
Like, you paid $30 to talk to somebody about Obi-Wan?
That's right. Whatever you wanted to talk to, you know, you wanted me to fucking talk to you about your day, or you have a weird fetish with your mom. You know, racial slurs are a big thing. Fucking.
This is what they're calling about?
Yeah. One guy has a grandma fetish.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty weird.
This is fascinating. I didn't know this. You just opened me up to a whole world of people just calling and like, hey, pretend you're my mom.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretend you're my mom and you catch me jerking off. What are you going to do? Stuff like that.
Wow, Danny, you are fascinating. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. You just like every 2 seconds, you're like, yeah, I used to gamble. I wasted $100,000. By the way, I'm also a phone sex operator, and I'm pretty good at my job. I'm like, what? This is incredible.
I like to keep my life interesting. So
yeah, that is fascinating to say the least. I'm comedian, phone sex operator.
Yep.
Gambler. Is there anything else? Well, former gambler.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we're missing? Oh, podcaster.
Podcaster.
Lingerie podcaster, which I'm definitely going to start watching that. I didn't know this was a thing, but I'm glad I found it today.
Yeah, it's basically just me and my girlfriend. She's in New York, and I'm we used to like, so when I go to New York, we'll do it like live and in person. But she's a comedian and I'm a comedian, and we're both kind of slutty, so so
y'all just said, let's just do it in all lingerie.
Yeah, let's just do it in lingerie. Brilliant. And let's just talk about our weekend or whatever.
That is brilliant.
Yeah,
that is only a thing exclusively that women can do.
Yeah.
We're not getting Nick in some lingerie. Me and Nick and boxers talking about our day.
You could go out there and like chop wood, and I'd watch you. Just take your shirt off and go out there and just chop wood. If you had a podcast like that, I'd be like a main subscriber. I'm
trying to think. I don't think there's any goddamn wood to chop in Florida.
Right? Oh my God, how hot is it there today?
Oh, it was 84 degrees, but it felt like 100.
Oh,
humidity here sucks.
It's like 110 here.
Fuck that. I'd move.
I was at the river all day.
I'd move. If it got that hot, I'd fucking like, all right, this is over.
Heat. It's dry.
It's over for Florida. If it got that hot here, like it's over. I don't know where the fuck I'm moving at, but I'm moving the fuck away from here.
Good luck finding somewhere.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, I bet.
So let me ask the question that they always ask every comedian. What was it like podcasting during the pandemic and doing comedy during the pandemic?
It was okay. It was a lot of Zoom.
How awful was that?
Horrible.
I can imagine.
But I made a lot of network connections. So like I
that's cool.
With people like in Florida or New York. And so now when I travel, I always hit them up. I didn't really look at it for like I'm doing comedy on Zoom, because that's terrible.
That's
not really a thing. But I did do it, but then I mainly just used it for connections.
I saw a couple people doing it. I'm like, I don't want to see that.
It was also nice to like crack a beer open and not like drink by yourself because you're on Zoom with someone and you're like, oh, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm drinking with friends.
I feel like it would be cool to do something like, if you're gonna be a comedian, do that. It'd be cool to have a conversation with a comedian like that.
Yeah.
That would be more cool than just like, hey, let's go tell my jokes for an hour or 30 minutes, some shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a little rough. And then watching like all the people that, you know, were like, oh, I'm going to do this too. And I was just like, okay.
It was so, the pandemic, I'll speak like it's over and shit, but it was so interesting watching people try to like pivot and work their way around that. Like comedians doing like shows via Zoom, and then you had like wrestlers doing shows with empty arenas.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, this is so fascinating. One of the most interesting times I've ever lived in. Not grown up because I'm already grown. Lived, like, one of the most interesting times I've lived in terms of like walking outside, like in Florida at least when everything first happened. Mm-hmm. Walking outside, just seeing the streets empty.
Really?
Almost like The Walking Dead. Like, and this was like
a pretty busy area. Yeah,
Miami in general is pretty busy.
Oh, okay.
But like, just not seeing anyone on the roads.
Yeah, it was great.
It was. Like gas was really cheap then. They weren't crack prices. Like,
and I actually I wasn't afraid of the pandemic, so I traveled a lot. Like I went to Boston, I went to New York.
Oh, so you were doing traveling?
Yeah, and we did comedy outside. So you know, like during the beginning of the pandemic, obviously I was here, but you know, after like a couple months went by, I was like, I'm fucking over this shit. Like, I'm gonna go. So flights were super cheap. Everything was cheap. It was fucking great. I wish we could go back.
Yeah, everything was really cheap back then, man. I was like, wasn't even that long ago. Like, this was great. Like, gas was like $2. Like, every store was empty.
It's like $6.19 here today.
Yeah, that's too high. That's
too much. That's why I make everyone just pick my ass up, drive me around. Like, I don't want to go if you can't drive me.
Smart. Very smart.
Yep.
I should start doing that. Just have people pick me up.
Where do you go? What's your nightlife like?
I don't go nowhere. I'm a homebody now. I don't do a damn thing.
You don't go anywhere?
No, my nightlife is podcasting.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't go nowhere anymore, man. Like, you know, I just chill out, take care of the kids.
How old are your kids?
They're old now. They're 16 and 14.
Oh, okay. That's like mine. Mine are 19 and 16.
Yeah, so now I have to be like TV dad and give the speeches and shit like Uncle Phil.
Have you watched that new Bel-Air, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
I have not watched it yet. Everybody tells me it's good. Everybody tells me it's good, but I don't believe them.
I don't either.
You're telling me like it's a really good show. Like, oh, is it?
No, probably
not. A lot of things y'all tell me is good don't be good. So I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
People are like, oh, it's fire. You got to see this.
Like,
good. Good.
Yeah, I agree. Only thing somebody they didn't recommend that to me. Squid Game. I thought Squid Game was good.
Squid Game was okay. It was all right.
I enjoyed the weirdness of it. It's so weird and quirky. It's so weird. Like the whole playing games that are based off of childhood games and people dying. Like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down for like playing games. I'm always, maybe I have ADHD because I like to be entertained constantly. So like I'll play like hopscotch or jump rope or something. But like if I have to like play a game for my life, I'm sure I'll fuck it up. You know? Fuck. Like red light, green light. I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, I think I'll be good at that. Yeah. I don't know about the rest of them games, but I'll be good at that one. The rest of the games I'll be fucked up.
We'll go as a team then.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. So since you asked me, let me ask you, what do you do for fun? What is your nightlife like? Just comedy?
It's crazy.
Comedy and weirdos grabbing your boobs?
I do karaoke a lot.
Oh.
I'm a rapper as well.
What songs are you doing karaoke with?
I do like Shoop.
Salt and pepper?
All 4 parts, yeah.
That is a sexy song.
Yeah, and I do it all. Yeah.
Young Me had a huge crush on Salt and Pepper.
Oh yeah.
Still do have a crush on Salt and Pepper. They were gorgeous.
Yeah,
Great
and
song.
then I do like ironic. But I go out to like normally it's comedy and then karaoke and then I go home.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Is there a big karaoke scene there?
Yeah, there's a lot of spots to do karaoke. There's a lot of spots, and I'd rather be at the bar doing karaoke than just sitting here doing nothing.
That
So
makes sense.
yeah. Yeah, I go stir crazy when I stay at home. I don't know why.
Maybe you need to get another hobby. You seem like a very active person. That's a good thing.
Which is weird because I'm super like unhealthy. So for as active as I am, I'm like,
Well,
fuck.
well, we're all unhealthy. So let's be
Yeah.
honest. Most of us
Yeah.
are unhealthy.
I went cliff diving today at the river. That was super fun.
See, cliff diving.
Yeah.
That is something huge. That's awesome. What is that like? I've never done anything like that. I don't think I've done.
What?
Because there's no cliffs in Florida. Well,
None?
I don't think so. No. Where would
Well, I
cliff dive
mean,
at?
I don't know. It's maybe like 40 feet up. It's not super, super high, but you just jump off it into the water. It's cold as shit. The water like is like hyperventilating cold, like takes your breath away. But it's fun. It's a good time.
So you just run off and jump off the cliff?
Yep.
And into this hyperventilating water?
Yep.
Yeah, that's some white people shit.
And then I'll like lay on the rock and tan or whatever. Just do whatever. Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm jumping off a cliff. That ain't something I look forward to. Like, oh, let's jump off this cliff. And then go back up and do it again. Like, what? Like, what? Why would I do that?
I'll normally do it like 2 to 3 times. And then I'm like, okay, I'll just lay on this rock now and get high. So
that sounds like a better idea.
Yeah.
I'll watch y'all do it.
It's a really pretty view, once you're up at the very top, but it just sucks having to climb back up again. It's like, fuck, can we make an elevator? Let's go.
Elevator for cliff diving?
Yeah, but I'm an adrenaline junkie, so anything to get your heart going.
So what other adrenaline type things have you done thus far?
I went ziplining.
Oh, that sounds fun. I do that.
In Vegas over Fremont Street. That was fun.
Okay.
I don't know. Probably. Oh, when I went to Tennessee, I played with alligators. That was fun.
Oh, you played with alligators?
Well, we fed them chicken. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was.
Have I ever done that?
I'm terrified of alligators.
Yeah, they're kind of scary.
I'm terrified of them, but I'm so like fascinated by them. So I'm like, fuck it, let's go. And so we went out on like a pontoon boat. Is really creepy.
Was it a bunch of alligators there?
Enough. There was like 5 or 6 pretty big ones too.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
We have something down here called Alligator Alley. It's like a little expressway that you go down and stuff like that. And when I was younger, my stepdad and I used to go over there and fish.
Oh, I love to fish.
And once in a while, you'd be sitting there fishing and you see alligator just staring at you.
Nope.
And I'd be like,
you.
oh, it's time to go.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like stuff that makes you like stuff that I'm scared. Like I don't watch scary movies really. But when I was in Virginia, I was like, fuck it. I'm not going to be a pussy. And I went into this haunted house and it was super scary, but like, I was just like, let's go. Like, I just like facing,
That sounds fun. Virginia is known for like having creepy haunted houses and stuff
it was
like
like
that.
The scariest haunted house in Virginia or whatever they said. It was super scary though. People were like grabbing at you. There was a guy with a chainsaw behind me. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, I was
not because I'm scared, because I would actually hit somebody. like I might, like you jump out the wrong time, like you might get hit. I don't think I want that lawsuit on my hands. Like, all right,
yeah,
you gotta relax on me. You can't be touching on me.
Can't be doing that. Can't be doing it. Yeah, but yeah, I like to do stuff to get your heart going.
That's pretty cool.
Trying to die of a heart attack early, so
no, I don't think you should do that. But
yeah, whatever works.
So you think comedy does that to you? That rush from knowing you killed it on the stage, or even that rush from knowing you bombed?
Yeah, comedy does that. I mean, especially if it's like in a big crowd, and especially if all my people that I'm going up with are shitty, and I'm like, yeah, and then I rock it out really well. Like that's exciting.
That has to be an amazing feeling.
Yeah, it's a pretty good feeling. But For the most part, I mean, I love comedy so much, like I'm never gonna stop. So hopefully it will just continue to make my heart race.
Okay. I have a question for you.
What?
Who was the coolest comedian that you've performed the set with?
Performed a set with?
Well, not necessarily with, but you were on the same day they were there, or
Probably Mikey Winfield. He's actually on AGT right now.
okay.
He did really, really well. Last week he got pushed on to the next round. So he's up and coming. Mikey Winfield is fucking awesome. He's got a couple specials out. And probably Bill Burr. Bill Burr was on the same stage as I was. He was the special guest at the Belly Room that night. That I was.
That's
in
cool.
LA. Yeah.
That had to be
was
wild for
fucking
you.
awesome. I didn't get to meet him, but it was awesome.
That is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And I opened for Pauly Shore, that was cool.
Oh, you opened for Pauly Shore?
Mhm.
What was that like?
He's an interesting guy.
Yeah.
He's an interesting guy. He you know, I don't know. He's just kind of weird. But
yeah, that's what I get from him.
Kevin Farley is Chris Farley's brother, and I opened for him. He came out to Sacramento and I was opening for him that weekend, and I took it like I was like, well, what do you want to do? The show doesn't start for a couple hours, whatever. And he was hella cool. He was like, yeah, take me to like Folsom Prison. And I was just like, that's a real prison.
He said, take you to Folsom Prison?
Yeah, he's like, Johnny Cash was there. And I was like, it's not like Alcatraz. I was like, I bet you have a boyfriend in there right now. Like, it's a real prison. But he was hella cool. I took him out. We got in my shitty ass car. We drove up there. We went to the gift shop.
The prison has a gift shop?
Yeah, prisoners can make you a gift and you could buy it at the gift shop.
Learn something new every day, I guess.
Yeah. If you ever want to come to Folsom Prison.
I didn't know this was a thing. People just go and hang out in prisons.
Apparently.
The last thing I want to do is hang out in a prison.
Right? Right?
Like, they might think I belong there. Nope. Like,
it's a white
how
guy
did you
thing,
get
I
out?
guess.
Like, nope.
Don't wear orange that day.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Don't have any idea of getting anything nowhere near close to that. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah. So that's what we did. And he was pretty cool. He looks just like his brother. So
That had to be kind of eerie.
yeah, a little bit. And he wasn't as funny, but it was a good time. We had a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to say before we go? I think you did great, by the way.
Oh, thanks. No. God bless America. Let's get high. I don't know.
I like that. All right, let them know where to find you at.
You can find me on Instagram at radchick4ever. It's the number 4 on Instagram. On Facebook, it's under Danielle DeLuca. And I'll send you all the links to everything else.
Yes. So if you want to go.
If you want to call my phone sex line.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
It's Night Flirt. I'll send you the info and you can add all that you do.
There you go.
Yeah.
So make sure y'all call in, Night Flirt with her. And if you listen to this podcast, you want to night flirt with her, make sure you talk about something like Marvel comic books or some shit like that.
Yes. Let's talk about Thor. Let's go.
Talk about Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yes. Let's go.
All right.
Are you going to go see that?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I'm a big nerd.
Yeah.
Big lovable nerd. I'm 100%
cool.
going to see that.
That's good. That's going to be a good movie.
I think so, yeah. And I know people are mad because there's a lady Thor now. I don't give a shit.
People are stupid.
Yeah, they're really dumb.
Yeah.
I'm
100%.
gonna enjoy. I'm gonna watch the fuck out of that movie. It'll be all right.
I feel it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for coming on. And as always, Delvin Cox Experience, we are out. Peace.